For the first time in APD's history, 2 Albuquerque police officers will go to trial on murder charges for killing homeless camper James Boyd. News 13's Gabrielle Burkhardt has been following the case since the shooting more than a year ago. Gabrielle?
Jessica, 6 full days of testimony, and this is just the beginning. A judge today upheld second-degree murder and lesser charges against Keith Sandy and Dominique Perez for shooting a man on duty. Now their fate will be up to a jury.
No one is above the law.
Special Prosecutor Randy McGinn started the day with her closing argument in front of a packed courtroom.
He was turning to follow APD's orders to get on the ground, and that's obvious from the videotape.
The state argues Albuquerque officers created the danger that day in the foothills.
Get on the ground now!
McGinn says James Boyd was turning toward the ground in the moments before APD officers Keith Sandy and Dominique Perez shot him.
Reasonable people don't shoot people in the back, Judge.
But the defense fired back.
When Keith Sandy made the split-second decision to shoot Mr. Boyd, he was obligated.
Defense attorneys maintain the officers followed training and saved the life of the unarmed canine handler who was less than 10 feet from Boyd as Boyd held 2 knives.
And their job, and their only job, as witness after witness has testified, is lethal cover. But if this matter is allowed to go forward on these charges, it will have a terrible and chilling effect on police officers throughout this city.
I do.
After hearing 6 full days of testimony, the judge delivered his decision.
That the state has established probable cause as to all the counts.
That means Sandy and Perez will go to trial on second-degree murder and lesser charges.
I think what the judge has established is that police officers can't shoot if there's an imagined threat, but only if there's a real threat.
The defense slipped out of court before we could talk to Sandy or Perez, but Sandy's attorney Sam Bregman told us later.
I'm confident that we will be able to clear their good name.
He says he's never disagreed more with a decision.
And God forbid that we have a police officer who needs to be protected by a fellow officer, and that police officer hesitates because he's worried about the government turning around and prosecuting him.
It's unclear when this case will go to trial, but at that point it will be up to 12 jurors to decide the fate of Sandy and Perez. If convicted on the highest charge, second-degree murder, they each face up to 16 years in prison. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Gabrielle. A different judge will preside over the trial. Keith Sandy retired from APD, but what now for Dominique Perez? APD tells us Perez is on administrative leave. Under standard operating procedures, APD may fire an officer for simply being indicted on a felony. A department spokesperson tells us the department will likely look to fire him.